You know what? Am I a bully?
I don't think of you as a bully because I ain't never been bullied.
But what if I am a bully? Somebody told me once that somebody else told me I was a bully.
You have a dominant personality.
You have a strong personality.
Yeah, but I ain't never trying to. Like,
You
I
know-
feel like bullies intentionally want to make people feel.
You can say there's malice towards
yeah, I
it,
can
but
hear me.
this- Bullies.
I don't. You think you talking about it in this instance?
I'm talking about just in general. You're not the first person to say that. Like, I'm going to. I've made fun of somebody or like.
Bro, we naturally make fun of each other all the time.
Okay, so then why you bring it up like that?
We're still part of the truth. What is it that you're
Both
feeling
can
right?
be true,
Wait. What is it that? Hey, hold on. What is it that you feeling
I'm
right
feeling
now?
attacked. I'm feeling attacked, JJ.
Why you feel attacked?
Because you basically said that you share your feelings, and I'm gonna make fun of you. And
You
that's
will.
never.
I said both of those are true.
Give me an example. This is where my logic comes in.
Yeah, and I'm bad at examples. But if I told you like, let's say I'm giving you an example of how me and Gigi are navigating a situation, and I'm like, bro, this is how I feel about it. He be like, this nigga JJ is emotional, bro. Like, you're just so emotional.
Would
bro.
I do that?
Yeah, bro, you have a quick tongue.
100%.
100%. You be like, JJ being so emotional.
Okay. Okay.
So both of those are
JJ
true.
didn't even finish his last thought, and you called him a B. Off top.
That was a joke.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
What are we
still.
just
talking
said.
about? It's a joke.
It's a joke.
What is it? What did I say you're doing?
And
Making
watch,
fun-
Dante
Hold up.
about to be like, well, I guess I'm just not gonna talk anymore.
But what did I say?
No,
I said making fun of, and then Dante says, but it's a joke. A joke is making fun of.
Is he a bully?
He is.
But I don't see
The
Dante.
biggest bully.
No, y'all. You know what pisses me off?
But you're not
people
bullying
always
me.
try to paint me. People always try to paint me the picture that I'm the villain, and Justin's literally the villain.
What did
Hey.
Justin say?
He's
Dance
displacing.
monkey. Are you the puppet master? he's behind the curtain.
I too have been bullied by Dante.
No, bro. But you know what? I don't want that to be the perception of it. It never comes from a. It never comes from a like a.
It's not malicious.
It's never malicious.
But it could be insecurity though.
It definitely is an insecurity.
You
but
have
it's
to
not
strike
malicious.
first.
But no, okay.
But I don't view you as being a bully.
Okay. Well,
Answer me this, y'all. Answer me this, y'all too. There's never a situation where you feel some type of way, but you have no logic behind your feelings. Like, I don't like that, but I don't know why I don't like that.
Ooh, it's been a while.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't necessarily operate like that. There's always a logic to
Yeah,
how
I take
I'm
a step
feeling.
back and just like, all right.
I always, to Justin's point, I look at the situation. So I'll be like, why do I feel like this? Like, I try to assess why I'm feeling like this.
Yeah, I get.
You can
super-
always express it.
I can when I get so my unhealthy version of my logic, I can get super binary, like ones and zeros. Like every action causes a reaction. So just because I did this caused this, and this. So there's a reason behind it. Like nothing is haphazard or like accidental. Like
So
I
every emotion is
yeah.
well, not intentional, but every
It is intentional when you break it down. Like especially if I'm conscious. Like I did it. If I lift my hand and I hit this mic stand, it wasn't an accident. I lifted my hand and the mic stand didn't just randomly appear.
What if it's not you though? What if it's somebody else?
That's where I only can take ownership for what I did.
So nobody else can make you feel a particular type of way.
I try to logically maneuver through that. Because at the end of the day, life, like people are going to do whatever they want.
Right.
But at the end of the day, nobody can physically or like mentally penetrate as far as like what I do.
He hasn't been married long enough. I think I used to be more like that, but I feel like the more I got married, the more my wife can affect my emotions.
So I agree with that. I mean, part of my story is Kim is the one who brought a lot of emotions out
Yeah,
of me.
he's changed a lot.
Yeah, before it was, yeah.
Oh, it was 10 times worse.
Android 19 over there.
For real. She actually makes him feel.
Yeah. So to that point, yeah, Kim is the closest one as far as like, all right, is she having a bad day? Like, It's gonna affect me, yeah, type
oh
thing.
my gosh, I'm
But-
glad I'm not alone.
I can still break that down as far as, all right, you having a bad day because of this, this, and this. Like, it makes sense. Now you're just displacing that on me. I have to take it because I'm your husband, but like, this didn't randomly happen.
But it does affect you though.
It affects me as far as I got to do different things now.
But
I have to
doesn't-
compensate.
But her energy being down doesn't bring your energy down.
No.
Oh.
Does
No.
it bring yours down?
It used to never happen to me, but the longer I've been married, the more my wife feels something, I feel it too.
Nah, dang, I was about to say something. I can't say that.
What?
I was gonna say, what are y'all, twins? But then, what am I, a bully?
Hey, bro, just living your truth.
No, I just think that I don't know if it's where I don't know. I can do a positive spin. Or I don't want to do this. I don't know if it's a wearing down of always being around somebody and always feeling their emotions. Like it's easy for if like one of your friends is not feeling a certain type of way, you'd be like, "Well, you give them space. Let me give you space."
Yeah.
Can't give her
In
space.
marriage, you can't
Yeah.
give space.
You can't give them space.
Or you
So-
can, but it looks very different.
it looks different. So if they're not always, if they're constantly feeling emotions as women do, or I'm not going to say
As
women.
humans
do, emotional
humans
people
do.
do, because obviously we're saying that me and JJ are more emotional. Then eventually you can't just keep running away from that. Eventually, I feel like it will eventually start affecting you, even if they didn't used to.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't necessarily. I'm more like Justin. Olivia's emotions don't impact me. The only emotion that she can transfer to me is anger.
That's an emotion.
So
I'm
think
saying no, because
I think we're saying in low levels type thing.
Yeah,
It still
he
does,
said
yeah.
if you're sad, if your
wife is sad.
If your wife is sad,
He
does
said,
that make you
does her
sad?
energy affect you?
Yeah.
So anger is like her energy
But I'm
is
saying
gonna
that's
affect.
the only one.
So you say if your wife was sad a lot, you wouldn't be sad?
I'm not. I understand her sadness, but it doesn't. I'm not as sad. I feel bad, but I'm not like.
You're not down too with her.
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not down.
And I think that's part of like a marriage exercise. I think I'm the same way. Like, if it gets to a certain point after a certain amount of days, it's like, all right, I feel like I should probably come down there with you, type thing. It's just hard for me. Like,
Yeah. I was,
Well, should you? Or should you
So,
be trying to...
like I
I
said,
was-
I think that's part of the marriage exercise.
think,
You got to be able to judge that out.
So I don't think. I think that's a personal struggle for me because I'm just so used to, even if I'm feeling a certain type of way, it don't stop things from getting done. So honestly, for a lot of times, my wife is like, "You don't care," and it's like, it's not that I don't care. It's that
have
at the end of the
stuff
day,
to do.
things have to still get
Me
done.
and Dante are more responsibility driven
Like,
as far as like just
Is
this
that-
is what we got to do today.
That's what it just is like that.
But
And
is that suppressing the emotion? Like, do you have the emotion? It's just suppressed because you just need to move forward.
Yeah. I have
think,
it.
I think the context of all this, we don't necessarily dwell in the emotion. I don't think we're void of emotion. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
have- I
there.
have
It's just very
emotions.
quick.
It's like I understand.
Yes.
I'm feeling this way, but at the end of the day,
Can-
for me, responsibilities trump emotion. So and I had this not an issue, but like Jaden and I have been our relationship has been very contentious.
Yeah.
It's been very contentious lately because I'm living with a 17-year-old girl who has
17.
a lot of emotions. And for her, she allows her emotions to trump her responsibilities.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, well, I didn't get this done because I've had a tough day. And where we've been getting into it is, I'm like, I don't care about your tough day. That's life. Go get done what you need to get done. To which she said that I'm mean. She's like, you're mean. You just don't care, and you just the way you say things. It's just all the time. So we had this big blow up recently, and my wife called me into the room, and she basically was like, you know, Jaden feels this type of way, and honestly, I feel that type of way too sometimes. That it is what it is, like, and you just don't care. I said, it's not that I don't care. I just operate in the realm of responsibilities don't change. Just because you're feeling a certain type of way, it doesn't change the things that need to get done. And so I don't live there. And it may just come off like I don't care. But I mean, I care to a certain extent.
And that's tough, bro. I feel like I used to be more like that. But like I said, the longer I've been married, the more empathy I have for my wife's feelings, which I also think in turn made me turn on feelings that affect my, I don't know, I don't work.
That affect other areas of life.
I'm sorry, Coop.
My task.
I'm sorry. Let me quit mentioning that you don't work, even though it's a fact. I know what you're thinking. I'm bullying you.
That affects
It's
your
your tone.
task.
Yeah, like if I'm okay, like before I'll be more like that, like it doesn't matter, I have to do this, like get through it. But now I'm like, you know what? I don't have the energy for this right now.
Not motivated.
I'm just gonna rest.
What you need rest for? You ain't got no job.
Hey,
Bully.
But you're going to rest because of your feelings.
Yes, I don't. Maybe I'm not necessarily tired, but it's like I just don't
feel like it
I don't
today.
feel like doing this.
Yeah, so your feelings are running. Feelings are driving your decisions. And that's where my challenge is. Because I am more emotional, so I oftentimes will put on the lens of the emotions that I feel. And lately, it's been like what Coop said, I've been allowing my emotions to drive my decisions. Like I feel a certain type of way, and it's almost like that feeling now, that emotion is what is the determining factor versus the logic or the fact of the matter.
I can see that.
So that's not good, right?
I don't think that's good.
I don't think that's good either.
I don't think it's bad. So
Yeah.
I don't think
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's a great quality to really understand your emotions and to be able to, take what you need. Like it's not bad when you're feeling down to say, you know what, I don't really feel like this.
That's
today.
what you told Jaden.
I think it only is bad
Right.
when.
So I did have a question for you though. Whenever you were,
I don't know.
Hypocrite.
y'all are both
I
operating.
feel bullied.
You and KJB both operating like it's not okay to do that. But whenever you were talking about how you let responsibility trump your decisions or like whatever, are you still able to identify and name the emotion?
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out a way to insert emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
As far as like being aware of how I feel, it's like, okay, I can quickly identify how I feel, but I still can get it done.
In spite of the feeling.
In spite of that. And it works, especially in like our situation where like wives, and me and Dante, and I mean Coop too, as far as like daughters, like I think to Dante's point, like, yes, he's stepping into logic when it comes down to Jaden, but he identifies that Jaden is going through emotions.
Yeah, it's never negated from the fact of, oh, I can understand you're a teenager. You have a lot of things going on. There's so many things that you're grappling with.
What about your own though?
No, so this is the thing. I would say I don't think we give people who come off as emotionless enough credit. Because I think that I think in some instances, they are very in tune with their emotions. I can name the emotion.
Yeah.
I could even tell you why I feel that way. If it's something that triggered me, I could tell you why it triggered me. It's just, in spite of that, X, Y, and Z needs to get done. So although I can be like, I don't feel good today because I feel this about myself or something like that, I'm still like, okay, well, I mean, at the end of the day,
it's super layered, because now I'm trying to think as far as like, because I know I can have an emotion and then let logic take over. So I think the rebuttal will be like, what happens if you sit in emotion? And my thing is, I do sit in emotion sometimes. It's just in my mind, not the bad emotions. I can be extremely happy for a full day type thing.
And you can sit in that happiness.
I can sit in that happiness. But sadness, I guess I look at it as a negative emotion. It's like I will be sad for a moment, especially like when it comes down to grief. But it's like, okay, that moment is past now. Now I'm going to continue on with other things or go touch the other emotions. So just as easily as I can access sad, I can go to the other side of the emotional wheel and access happy. I wasn't sad forever. I was happy before that. What do I need to do to get back to happy?
Right.
You were talking, I keep thinking of that Inside Out movie. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, I see
love
that.
that
Actually,
movie.
I don't even watch stuff like that. But then Jaden was watching it.
It was
and
good.
We watched it as a
It was
family.
subtle. They're trying to get you to pay attention.
Right.
I just feel like everybody just got too many emotions, and they don't stop the world from spinning.
Do y'all feel like when y'all were younger, you had a space to express those emotions?
No.
No, yeah, it's definitely no.
I don't know if there was a space or if I didn't feel like there was. I didn't feel like there was one. I don't
So-
know if there really was one or not.
So I guess for Justin and Dante, KJB and Dante, how did y'all get to a point to where you're able to express them in a healthy way?
A lot of trial and error, I guess. Like just seeing how, cause bro, I used to go off. Like if I had an emotion, it was just very like
Yeah, I knew you then.
you did. But I had to start seeing how my emotions impacted other people, and just saying like, oh, that's not cool. Y'all know your boy love some good little self help, so I think that also helped. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I think my wife diagnosed me, and she said that I've always lived my life with this air of responsibility. And so because of that, I didn't necessarily have the opportunity to even
Your
like
innocence
little
was
things,
taken.
like be a kid. She
Yeah.
was like, you don't do anything fun or anything. Like you've never just been a
Yeah,
kid.
Dante was a man in the house at 16.
Before that,
My daddy house.
before that, bro. Like I started working at 14. So like it's always been.
That's why you
that's
work
how-
from 6:30 to 9:30 after work.
I'm just because at the end of the day, it don't stop it. It got to get done. And so do I think there was a space? Potentially. I think if I would have talked to my mom about it, it would have been. But then also, no, it ain't, because my mama don't really talk about feelings. So never mind.
Yeah. Mine
I'll
is more sins of the father type thing. My father didn't learn how to handle emotions, so he didn't teach me how to handle emotions. Mother did the best she could. Life was the best teacher ultimately. A lot of I hit my emotional peaks when Alexia was as an infant type thing, and just kind of battling things with my family, battling things with my own like levels of insecurity. I think the number one solution for me was God and faith, as far as like understanding, like we had a conversation as far as like getting back to the fundamentals. Who am I and who do I want to be? So I do recall around like 2021, like really taking the time to sit down and process as far as like, is this where I want to continue to go? I have my peers talking about like, hey, you're emotionless. You're a robot type thing. My parents don't necessarily want to have engagement with me. I'm raising a child. Like, okay, is this the direction I want to go? Logically, all right, if this is not what you want to do, you got to make some choices. So granted, you can argue that it breached into control issues as far as like, all right, I'm going to control my environment now. But that's why that's how I was able to like understand, all right, what this emotion is. All right, anger. Y'all probably never seen me get angry. It's because I handled that. It's like far as like, what is anger really coming from? Go chase that down and figure out why you're angry about that. Once you do that, find another emotion. Understand that. So I took the time to really break it down for me to be able to translate all these emotions into certain levels of logic and figure out like a plan for them.
High level of emotional intelligence. Are you ever angry?
I have my moments, but just like a trigger type thing, you know how to defuse the bomb. Or I know how to defuse the bomb.
I've never seen you angry. What was
No.
the last thing that angered you?
Get him a bigger bomb.
But I mean, even being transparent.
What's
So
the last time you were angry?
angry,
Like real angry.
frustrated, it comes first. So if I know I'm getting frustrated, it's hard for me to get to anger.
You stop yourself before you get
So
to anger.
anger would probably be like early 20s. Like
Really?
my biggest 2 points of contention were my father and Alexia's mother. I resolved things with my father at 23. We were good. After that, Alexia's mother is the next point of contention. But coming back to like things that you can control. All right, I realized this woman can send me a message and I could blow up. Like
Yeah.
nobody should have that amount of control over my life.
Right.
So I had to figure out, all right, what are some things that I can do to, like I said, get ahead of this type thing. Always put, for what y'all know me, always put your best foot forward. always work to make sure like nobody else can prove you wrong. And that's what I started to develop as far as that level of logic and work ethic, as far as like, hey, I'll make sure I make the money. I'll make sure I do the research. I'll make sure I'm ahead of this. I will spend the time to get stuff done. You're not going to catch me out here lacking. So that's my level of like maneuvering around. So yeah, you can hit me with a text message, but I've thought of this. I'm ahead of this type thing. There's nothing that's about to happen from this. And I learned how to move forward. So nothing else in my life has really got me to that point.
That's good. And I ain't even trying to like drill in on you, but listening, do you think that creates a negative byproduct of like, because you're like basically taking a scenario that was contentious and you're now telling yourself that because of this scenario, you kind of apply this principle across the board where it's like, I have to do all of these things now. So you're setting yourself up like everything that you can control is like you're controlling everything.
Yeah.
And I could see that could impact or influence other areas of your life now because you won't let go of that control that says like, I now have to do all of this. Like, I got to be the person to bring the money. I got to do all these things so that this does not happen.
Yeah, I mean, it breaches into control issues, especially when you get into, marriage or lifelong relationship type thing. As far as like, I can't control this woman. I can't. I want the best for her, but at the end of the day, she's going to do whatever she wants. I love her, but I can't control it. And I mean, I think I do. I keep it within a lane because I think the truly unhealthy part is when you start to get into like domestic violence and then like infidelity and stuff like that. Because it's like, all right, I can't control this.
What you looking up there for? Do not be doing that on camera. People start thinking I'm over here operating differently, please.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
But if I say something, I'm a pull it.
So yeah, if you can't keep it somewhat in check, like, then yes, it can go into the extremes. But yeah, I think what you're speaking of as far as like where it can start to bleed out into other things, like, yeah, I do live a fairly controlled life. And when life hands me something that I truly can't control, what do I do? Now I got to figure that out.
I'm sorry, I'll be cracking myself.
Christopher, what would make you do that?
Cooper's trauma. Remember back in Florida, the lady just went to hell.
Yeah.
It wasn't malicious.
Okay. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Because that really just made me feel some kind of way.
That's okay. Let's talk through it.
What you mean?
It's just a joke.
It was just a joke. You calling me a bully.
Oh.
Who called you a bully?
That wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
That wasn't a joke.
No, I'm saying that, and it's partly because you're not the first person to say that.
Who are you talking to, me?
You.
I never called you a bully.
You said it.
No, I didn't. I said
implied it.
I said that you and Justin, y'all make fun of me.
Is that not?
But I don't.
To Jen's point, you called yourself a bully.
I don't look at you as a bully. This is what I also said. I said we all make fun of each other. Specifically, we were talking about emotions. We were talking about me being more emotional than y'all, and emotions like driving like some of the decisions or the way that I view things. And I said that I don't feel like I have a safe space because every time I'm acting out of those emotions or those emotions are expressed, y'all will make fun of me, which is true. I don't look at it as y'all bullying me. It's just the nature of how we show up. I can still express things, which I do, but if I do express it, y'all gonna make fun of it.
I don't want you feeling like that.
See, me and JJ have emotional lunches sometimes. Y'all don't know that.
But I don't think that.
Not y'all not inviting us.
But I don't think that you're a bully though.
We can't invite them. But the only reason I say that is because one, that's not the first time I've heard that
you're a
somebody
bully?
feels like yes that I may have bully behavior.
Is the shoe fit?
But if it's never coming from a malicious place, then is that bullying?
I don't think it's bullying.
It still can be.
What's a softer?
So
version
this
of
is
bullying?
the
bullying,
only reason.
to me, bullying, like you have to be. I don't feel like I'm bullied.
But I don't want.
That's good.
But that
You
could
at
be
a point of authority to
that-
be bullied.
That could be a pride
I think
thing, though.
mentally, like, I think of somebody. When I think of bullying, I think of like going back to like kids in school, and there's a bully that's always picking on somebody. I don't think y'all are picking on me. I don't think that y'all are like.
But you're changing. You're saying you're changing your action because of you understand that if you do something that we are going to take it a different way.
Right.
So although you may not necessarily be saying you don't feel bullied, you're still changing your actions.
Dang, are you a victim?
Oh my gosh!
This is getting worse.
If you have been victimized, if you have been a product,
What's the number that I call?
1-800.
I'm thinking he's saying he doesn't always express himself because he knows it's just gonna be a joke. If
But
he doesn't
I don't want my friends to feel like that around me.
then stop joking all the time.
I don't feel like that. I don't feel like that around Coop.
Me and JJ would really just sit and talk, and we'll just talk.
JJ, you don't feel like you can talk to me? We talk.
We do talk. I talk with all of y'all.
Maybe it's the group setting.
It definitely is a group setting. Y'all, it's a group
Are you saying
setting.
that Dante turns it up in the group setting?
He tries to throw out in front of his little friends.
Yeah, Dante turns into entertainer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Dante turns into entertainer. I don't know.
Because we don't have this problem when we talk. I don't have this problem when I talk to any of y'all.
Mano,
On a one-on-one basis.
I don't know. Have you asked us?
You know, just you're gonna piss me off.
You bring a
Let's go around the room.
you bring a different level. You bring a different energy when it's one-on-one.
Okay.
You switch up.
You fake.
You know what?
Fraudulent. Fugazi.
You know what? Coop, do you feel like I've ever been joked too much? Do you feel like I joke too much?
I feel like I don't express myself in a group setting ever.
That is actually very true. Coop said, y'all ain't gonna never be able to make fun of me because I'll never express my emotions.
I feel like I only express myself truly with people one-on-one.
Okay. So you don't feel like I joke? Do you feel a certain type of way when I joke about other people? No. When other people share they may share their feelings and I may make a joke about it?
No, because sometimes you don't know how to take something somebody says. Like, what do you want from me right now? Like, somebody tell you something, you're like, what do they need from me right now? So I feel like, even mine too, my natural nature is to try to cheer somebody up by laughter. So, like, somebody will tell you a problem, then you make a joke of it. You know what I mean? It's not like you're trying to bully them. You're just, like, trying to make them...
Make light of the
Make
situation.
light of the
That's your
situation.
personality, yeah.
Yeah, that's natural.
You know what? Maybe this. I'm asking because I was just talking to somebody this week about our blind spots, and I brought something to his attention, and I told him. He said, "Bro, I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention." And I said, "Well, this is why relationships like this are important because we can make each other see blind spots that we would not see ourselves." So that's why I'm taking it very serious because if y'all are saying that this is a blind spot, it's not just if y'all are feeling it, then I know people who aren't as close to me are feeling it. And if that's a blind spot, that's something that I want to address.
I do that with Key all the time. She always like, you can never be serious. But it's like, I'm trying to make the situation lighter. I don't want it to be as heavy as it is.
Okay, I get that. So maybe that is.
And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing either. Because that's kind of like deflecting your emotions.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could see it being a bad thing if you're always like that. If you don't ever have a room to like actually sit in whatever is causing the situation to be heavy.
Yeah, I think if anything like that can be toxic. So remember in Beef where her husband, she tried to vocalize how she was feeling, but her husband always had something like positive to say or like
What you say always, one more time? Positive toxicity.
It was toxic positivity.
That's
Every time she tried to share like a struggle or she was feeling some type of way, he would be like, "Oh, babe, but life isn't that bad. Look at what we have. It's always, it could always been 10 times worse."
Yeah.
And so she didn't necessarily feel seen.
You need that acknowledgement
by her husband because he wasn't acknowledging. And I don't think it was, although it wasn't malicious, that could be problematic.
He probably also he really wasn't equipped to handle her emotions because he didn't know how. He couldn't even handle his own emotions.
Exactly.
So he was really deflecting with positivity.
Exactly. So he, just like he deflected himself, he was deflecting other people. Justin?
That might be something you have to reflect on.
Yeah, I would say, Coop, that might, be
because if you're always deflecting like if you're deflecting to positivity.
Say something positive.
Let me just receive this.
But part of that
Sit
may be that whatever's being expressed or whatever situation is, you may not necessarily have the language to articulate what it is
Never.
or how you feel.
Never.
So it's hard. You can maybe empathize on a feeling level, but it's confusing because you don't know how to appropriately articulate it in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't like express it to somebody else.
Never.
So the best thing to do then is to make a joke of it. What do you do naturally? How do you show up? What are your proclivities? Hey, like, bro, I'm just going. What I do know works is I'm going to make a joke. You're going to laugh when it's going to be a good time because I want to reinforce this positive loop. I want to reinforce this.
Yeah.
Oh, like everything's good. Everything's copacetic.
Right.
I don't like this contention. I don't like the friction. I don't like any of this. So I just got to keep.
Yeah.
And it can really
reinforcing
work
that
with
positive
like
loop.
group settings, like stuff like this, because like, all right, we laugh, we continue, move on. Key, laugh, smile goes away. We still back with the
And then
situation.
she's like,
yeah,
Chris! And I'm like, why do you keep making chicken? Make something else. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Now I must be thinking about that.
Which is
Now I'm about to
good
keep all.
thought.
No.
I'm about to keep all my jokes.
But
No,
but part
no,
of that
no,
is
no.
like, I mean, even you're talking about you, but I'm talking about me. Like that's something in me that I have to grow in.
Yeah, but I don't ever want anybody to just feel like I'm going to make light.
I don't know who this is about at this point. Is this about JJ or about you, Dante?
Dante trying to play the victim.
Yes.
You can have the victim card.
I don't want the victim card. I'm just
That boy
saying.
went from a bully to a victim.
I'm just saying.
Dylan Brooks.
I'm just saying.
Dylan Brooks.
I'm just going to change things so that that's not the case.
No. Because then you're going to be all serious all the time. That's not going to be fun either.
Okay, so what do y'all want from me?
Just be yourself.
Find nicer words. Expand your vocabulary.
Bro, I am very nice.
We're finding out a lot today.
No, for real. Y'all don't think so? Bro, y'all trash.
Why do you care?
Cause y'all are my friends. I wouldn't care if it was anybody else. If it was people outside of like my direct circle, y'all the A. Y'all the A team. If it was the B team or C team, I really could care less.
You're nice, Dante.
But I don't want my A team feeling like that about your boy. But let's talk about Justin. Remember, he don't
Dante, it's not time to deflect.
Deflector. Dante the deflector for sure. Dante the flex. That's your
Yes.
new IG.
I'm gonna change my name. Y'all know I've been looking for a new IG name.
Dante the flex.
Bro, I don't know, man. You know, life is just beating up my nerves. Because it's so much, bro. Just navigating. You got to navigate your feelings, other people's feelings. You got to do all this while showing up in all these different spaces. It just can become overwhelming sometimes.
But on the topic of emotions, because you started this conversation earlier, but I guess I'm actually really thinking about it. You were talking about your brother, Coop, and how your brother shows up and he's like, he's just driven. He's on a different level. But oftentimes it'll seem like he can operate in a way that's more logical than emotional. So like he can kind of separate the emotional side of whatever needs to get done to like see the task through. I guess it's kind of how Dante and KJB operate
Yeah,
as far
he
as
just
like
on
how
a-
y'all show
he on
up.
a
He just
higher
on a
level.
He on another level with
yeah,
it.
he Mamba.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel like that's necessary, or do you see anything wrong with that, or is that how somebody should show up, how somebody should operate?
I think there's pros and cons to everything. There's also the nature of your environment that plays into this. We're all speaking as married men, so there's a con element as far as like we have to incorporate levels of emotion. Los doesn't. He can operate completely solo as far as like I'm just gonna be ambitious and focus on whatever's in front of me, and then I can address the emotions later.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have that luxury. Sometimes we do have to put the emotions first, even though it's against our will.
Yeah. Because our emotions affect people directly and almost immediately.
And forever.
And forever.
Forever. forever.
Yeah, I think it's. I think you kind of have to find the balance. I think when we see those people, oftentimes go on and do great things in whatever they're doing, simply because where other people kind of give up prematurely, or they may allow their emotions to take over, these people are driven towards the goal. So to that point, from a sports perspective or a goal perspective, these people usually are high driven. They end up becoming CEOs. They end up becoming very successful, kind of like an Elon Musk. Like, they go off and do these amazing things. But then I also think in some instances of it, you may the bad side is they may not, from an emotional perspective, that may be the downfall, right? And I even recognize that on our level. It ain't like no Elon Musk, but like, one of the things that I can truly say is it is a problem because I'm so responsibility driven that I negate emotions a lot of times, and that's not good for, Olivia. That's not good for Jaden. That's not good for people that I work with. So like, oftentimes I'm like, nobody cares. I've literally said this. Nobody cares. We all got a job to do. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, I ain't never said that.
Because we do. We all, at the end of the day, whether you feel some type of way or not, we still have stuff to do.
Yeah,
which is true. But that's the environment. That's work, right?
But that's work. But that doesn't necessarily go. That doesn't necessarily go well when it's like your home.
Yeah.
I was watching Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he was talking about how he's like, he was a bad son, a bad brother, a bad boyfriend, but he was a great football player.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's only thing he was focused on.
Because all those relationships fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't showing up emotionally in those relationships, probably physically and emotionally. But what he wanted, he excelled in, which he did.
Yeah.
So I think you just kind of have to I think you naturally have to find the balance. And I think the first thing is when other people bring emotions to you, you have to acknowledge their emotions. Like, you can't just negate them. You can't just be like, okay, I understand. Yeah, all that sounds good, but this is what we need to get done. You have to actually like
validate their emotions.
validate their feelings and their
What's up,
emotions.
Coop?
Let me get a little pushback. If you want to, you don't have to do that.
You say,
Because like, we were talking about the Mamba mentality. That's why we brought up Los.
Yeah.
It depends on what you want.
that's true. I mean, you could just be
Because
like,
energy is not infinite. So if you want to be the very best at
he kind of let that sit for a second, but that sounds like a profound statement. Energy is not infinite.
So if you want,
I was about to say something mean, but
say it.
no.
Say something mean.
I was gonna say, boys, listen to a couple motivational speeches. I have a problem.
Yeah, you just can't control
Oh my
yourself.
gosh, bro! I'm sorry.
Energy's not infinite. So to Kobe's point, or even to Shannon Sharp's point, he put all of his energy into one thing, and he maximized the thing that he cared about at the time. In hindsight, he's like, I wasn't good at all these others. I left all these other spaces empty. But what he wanted, he achieved. So if you want, you have to decide what you want. If you want the balanced life, then follow Dante's advice.
And if because I mean, but I think you also have to think stuff like that. To your point, it don't last forever. So like, what do you do?
It does.
I mean, it does, but like, it does. But
He's
like,
a Hall of Famer.
what happens when the lights go off?
But are you saying like
closes.
that career doesn't last forever?
Yeah, I'm saying like that career doesn't. And then where do you turn when like you get injured or you need help from other people?
Yeah, I think the
and
high doesn't. I mean, you have the contrast of a Shannon Sharp, who I guess is now he's being introspective and identifying it, but then you also have the Tom Brady, where we've talked about on previous episodes, constantly chasing the high, and you lose everything.
Right.
So it's like, all right, now your body cannot physically chase that high anymore. What do you do?
What do you do? And who do you turn to?
Sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, you just apologize?
My bad, y'all.
Okay, so I guess that's. I think we differ. I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong way to go about it, but you need to understand the cost.
Okay, yeah.
Of
Okay,
whatever you want.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that.
If you want,
if that's what you want,
I don't know how LeBron James does it.
I would say he appears to have a balance.
There's no way. There's to be
Are we
that.
starting a LeBron scandal?
I'm saying to be that great.
But some would
what are
argue
you
that he
talking
ain't
about?
great. He ain't as
specifically,
great
though?
as some
Like
people would argue.
how he
that-
does what?
How does he maximize? It seems like It seems like he's the best dad in the world. He's the best basketball player in the world. He's the best businessman in the world. How's he maximizing all these different spaces at the same time?
I think that we don't see the full
Yeah, that's
picture.
true.
I think you can.
We don't know if Savannah
I think you
happy.
can parallel.
She looks happy. I'm talking about scenes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Honestly,
for sure. But
yeah.
I mean, I think you can even parallel his basketball greatness to business greatness. Like
'Cause
those
he
are those are kind of very similar lanes.
But it's not.
It is
That's
in a
two
sense,
different energies.
but
that you gotta-
but he also showed up in the league as a businessman. Like when he started his basketball career, he got what $100 million deal from Nike. He's already starting that business, the trajectory in that way. So just like he's becoming great in basketball, he's becoming great in business. They were just tracking on the same page. But I don't think we have a full picture of the family dynamic. It appears like
We don't have the full picture on anything, to be honest. We
That's
don't
true.
know LeBron's failed businesses. We don't know how much money he loses per quarter type thing.
or if he's actually doing it, or if somebody else is doing
Yeah,
it.
and I think the second part, as far as like having that much early access to support, like a lot of those lanes can be driven by other people, even on the family tip type thing. LeBron ain't really raised Bronny Jr. every single day. We see him on TV. Bronny Jr. is at home, so he's not there. But he does a good job of making sure the optics are good.
They appear to love him.
Yeah, and he does on the back end, as far as he's done a decent job. I'm gonna say decent just because we don't know exactly, to fill in the gaps. Hey, I know I'm on national TV, so that means I'm not there with my family. When I'm not on national TV, you see me with my family.
Right.
That's true.
So he knows how to spend.
He's
the
a good man,
opportunity.
Savannah.
Also on that point, I think there's a difference because we don't say LeBron has Mamba mentality.
That's what I was about to say.
You look at a Kobe and you
That's
say
what I was
Kobe
about to
has
say.
a Mamba mentality, and like when you think about that, all that Kobe does in the game, like the grit, everything he has, you don't say that about LeBron because Kobe was like singular focus. LeBron seems like he's
More balanced.
Yeah, it's disaggregated. So like now he's more balanced, and maybe it's not one that's better than the
So
other.
that's
but
what I
it's-
was going to say. I was going to say, but when we have those conversations about the GOAT, it'd be people who argue you down and be
MJ.
like, LeBron is not the GOAT. MJ the GOAT because he just had a different. It was a different level of basketball, and LeBron James ain't even built like that. Like this
That's
was
so
literally,
funny.
this was a real argument in the office this week.
We're doing a sermon series
Yeah,
at church called The GOAT.
Yeah.
This was the real argument in the
Real
office
answer is
this
Jesus.
No, but this guy that we work with hates LeBron. Our other coworker is like loves LeBron, so we be like, "Bro, LeBron's great. He's like, "Nah, bro, he'll never be a MJ. He'll never be a Kobe."
I'm like an
he,
old head.
yeah, he really ain't. He actually.
But even speaking of MJ, he seems more the Kobe singular
Yes.
focus because
Yeah.
he have
MJ is a blueprint.
not to talk about him, but he's had failed marriage.
Yeah.
yes,
Nah, we
that's
talking
probably-
about it.
what do you mean?
I don't need the wrath of MJ on me.
You're literally proving the point.
We all got Jordans on it.
Yeah, I do. I support him.
You're literally proving the point. That's what we were saying.
Oh,
Right.
Jordan's on?
But this is my point. But this is my point.
You got LeBron's on?
We talking we talking about balance, but then we talk about MJ's the GOAT.
I don't.
So
think he's
what's
a GOAT.
better to be
He's not a GOAT when you don't raise up and raise your family.
What's the standard of GOAT?
So I'm saying which one is better? That's what I'm saying. It's a decision to be made.
So it does come down to
What
the
do you
decision.
want?
And we talked about this with Tom Brady. I don't believe that Tom Brady is the GOAT because I believe that if you were to put a game before your family, that to me you ain't GOATed
It's specific. You're saying you don't believe he's the
But
GOAT.
it's
You're
a
saying
value.
you don't believe he's the GOAT in life.
in life.
But in
yes.
football-
in football, yes. But I'm saying in life, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I look at life. Some people don't care about that. Some people, we're only talking about a sport.
Yeah.
In the sport, you cannot negate it. I'm saying in life.
That's funny that you say that because you're saying things need to be done. So it's like,
Everything needs to be done.
but does it?
Yes.
If your family, if
You're
somebody,
I see. He's saying you choose a responsibility over your family.
No, I'm saying you should see
family is my
responsibility. No,
responsibility.
I'm saying you should see responsibility as everything has to get done. My responsibility ain't just my job. My responsibility is also I need to make sure I do things at the house. I need to make sure Jade's good. I need to make sure my wife is good. I'm talking about like run yourself in the ground, trying to make sure every area is copacetic.
Is that what you're talking about?
Kinda.
I mean, Cooper said really, at the end of the day, you have to make a choice. And even in all of our lives, and I mean, Dante using you as an example, by choosing responsibility, something is also
Lacking.
falling short.
Yeah,
Where
me
none of us-
personally.
I mean, there we go.
But
Well, you ain't Jesus. You ain't sacrificing yourself to save your family.
please don't make a joke of this.
Am I bullying you?
Please don't make a joke of this. Please don't make a joke of this. I just talked about my personal sacrifice for other people. But yes, I mean, but I would rather sacrifice myself than other
So,
people.
yeah, I think that's Coop's point as far as like something is going to sacrifice.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I recognize that.
I mean, yeah. Is it right though?
No, but it is what it is. That's the mindset. Like the mindset is, it is what it is.
That's definitely a husband's mindset.
Okay, all right.
We all do this differently. I don't know if I necessarily sacrifice my body.
Just say, I'm gonna be happy.
I do big happiness quite often.
Do you?
Yes. And I mean, bringing it back to the point before, as far as like how your spouse can affect you type thing, because I do choose happiness, it can cause a little bit of turmoil. I don't wake up naturally upset. I don't. I can be.
Justin, wake up. Justin, wake up. Pull the covers.
No, I think we're split, bro. Like by the room. Coop and KJB choose happiness,
That is actually very true.
and me and you, we don't.
Yeah, because I wake up and I just be like,
We don't.
I gotta get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done, this done.
This is like the ironic Punnett square of just like y'all choose. No, y'all can't necessarily wake up and choose happiness, but you and Coop choose emotions over logic. Me and Dante pick logic over emotions.
Oh,
like none of
yeah.
us are the same.
Yeah.
We're all different combinations.
And that's what makes the podcast so good, y'all. We appreciate y'all listening.
I mean, it's a little all over the place, but I think it was a great episode. Thanks, guys.
Yep. To give y'all context, y'all caught us in the middle of a conversation. We do, this is a soundboard podcast where we do come together to have conversations because we've known each other for so long. That being said, every agenda does not fall the way it's supposed to fall.
Yeah, and we low-key came in here today and we were just like, all right, y'all, what y'all want to talk about? And we just had more personal things.
Life
that we
hit
wanted
us
to,
first.
We had more personal things that we wanted to talk about. And so we just decided to cut the camera on, cut the mic on, and let that ride. But this is what y'all gonna get today.
And I got the perfect soundbite of the week.
What is it?
Hit us with it.
Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price.
Okay. That
What's
was
the
Coop's
price?
point.
I'll say it again. Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price.
That was good.
It's from the 48 Laws of Power. Y'all should read
I
it.
quit reading that book.
I never read it either.
Y'all should read it.
Some of the because you know what?
No.
Because you know what? Some of the laws were very like
Is that a law
manipulative
from the
to
book?
me.
Yeah.
Some of the laws are very
I
manipulative
think.
to me.
Oh yeah.
It's what's the name?
Does
Sun
it have
Tzu.
a, does it
never
have
read
a
it.
number by it?
So some of the laws are very like this is how to manipulate the situation.
Yeah. Taking ownership of it. I mean, taking control of it.
Like taking control of it. And so I had tried to start reading it, and then I was like,
It was too dark.
I was like, this kind of feels
But I mean,
like.
that's the nature of power. Power is having power or authority over somebody.
I feel like there's a certain group of people who read this book, and that's why they are super successful.
Yeah.
White men.
50
It's a
Cent-
cost- it's
50
capitalism.
Cent used it.
Yeah.
He made his own book of power.
It's 50.
It's
laws.
50 laws of power. But I do think if you want to, based on what you care about, if you do want to make it in a certain industry or to a certain position, reading that book could be very, very beneficial for you
Yep.
because it is all about how to get there, like how to get to the top, how to manipulate and control
Take advantage of
situations,
every
to take
situation.
advantage of every single situation.
Is that specific to a capitalist society?
I put it in there because money. That's how you get money. Money because it's a limited resource. In order to get it, you have to take it away from somebody else.
That's true.
I don't even say. I think anything.
As
Freaking
far as-
Thanos. When he went back to the when he had to sacrifice his daughter.
Yeah.
Remember
He
he
did,
went
yeah.
back and she said, "What did it cost you?" She's like, "Did you do it?" He's like, "Yeah." "What did it cost you?" He said, "Everything."
Yeah.
He probably read that book. Thanos probably read that book. I'm Thanos. I'm gonna go read that book. I've been over here playing nice.
Oh, that brings us to a beef, bro.
What's up?
I know it's in the episode.
Nah, we still going.
How come you like Piccolo so much?
Ooh.
Because I'm a bald man, so I watch a lot of Dragon Ball. So
I gotta,
Piccolo is
sit, I
one of
gotta
my
sit out of this one.
Yeah, me too.
Piccolo is one of
I
my
was focused
role
on
models as another
responsibilities
bald
growing
man.
Me too.
So what makes you? What gives
I didn't
you
watch
the
TV.
right as a
I was
hair
grinding.
goer?
I never looked at Piccolo as a bald man.
He's
He
a bald man.
He kept it
Trying
covered
to
when he has
provide
his
for my
armor on.
He takes it off. He bald headed. He always got his antennas.
He also has antennas. Yeah, cool. But do you identify with antennas?
Is that the one? Didn't he wear a hair rag?
Yes,
Yes.
he has a whole armor.
So why do you get Piccolo? Explain that to me.
Piccolo was always, for one, in Dragon Ball, he was King Piccolo was a great villain. Like he actually,
Justin is
Like-
the
Yeah.
villain. He's the villain. That's
I
what I
have-
can tell y'all.
I've said him the villain.
Justin is the villain.
So yeah,
He definitely is.
Evil King Piccolo was a great villain. Like he actually did everything he said he was gonna do. He was about to destroy the world. Like I'm really gonna do this.
Yeah.
As far as Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z, he's known for the change of heart. He started off evil and he got better. So I do identify with that type of thing.
You have the same story arc.
And he was a background character.
Okay.
Piccolo only shows up when he's needed. And when he's needed, he does what he needs to do and then he dips out. I prefer a background type of lifestyle as far as if you need me, I'm here. But I don't need to be in the front and center of everything. Goku could always run, scream, beat everybody up type thing.
Yeah.
Piccolo, I'm here, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So that's just like, it's always like, he always showed up when the time was right.
Okay.
He did what he needed to do. And it was just an easy way to identify. I wasn't a fan of Goku.
Okay. I feel the same way.
Justin, you've always shown up in my life.
Yeah.
You're not background here.
As the villain?
That too. But
I used to be more of a villain with you.
Justin did used to be the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin naturally just kind of shows up like that.
Yeah.
But Justin's also naturally more critical than anything.
That's very true.
So the criticism oftentimes looks like a villain.
Yeah, and I think I spin villain because, I mean, I don't want to just self-proclaim that I'm just like an evil person.
No, I'll tell you.
But the villain is somebody, I mean, I can derail your original plans type thing as far as like I'm going to give you a challenge. So like the whole Batman Joker type thing. You can look at Joker as a villain, but Joker had a solid plan as far as like everybody should be equal type thing. Like the way the world is working doesn't work for me type thing. I can never like be successful in this world. So I'm going to level this world out to make sure I'm good.
Makes sense.
So I don't become
We
a
know
villain
who
as far.
we know who he picked for between Chadwick and Michael B.
Killmonger.
We know who you picked. Why does he do this snicker, bro? Every time it's like a mischievous little kid.
Whoa,
Bruh, so, what'd you call me?
I
Yeah.
was about to say a mischievous cat, but like the Whister.
Didn't we just talk about bullying? Why can't you say something nice?
Can't say nothing now.
Nothing. Take my feelings into account.
Yeah,
That's
give
all I
him a
want.
compliment. Give him
That's
a
all I
compliment
want.
now.
Yeah.
I'm
tell me
sorry,
something.
Coop. I enjoy your snickering like a little schoolgirl.
The bully always comes out.
Like the little schoolgirl that has
Watch-
cats.
You better watch how you talking to me, bro.
Why?
You talking to the newly elected board member of the HOA.
Are you?
Not you going around telling people your grass not
You
cut
better
low
watch how you talk to
That
me.
man is embracing the retired life.
Chris,
I will come down on you with the full authority of the board.
Chris, do you have what's them little boards we be having? The little board with the little clipboard. Could be walking through people's houses with clipboards. Your grass is 1 inch too long, Mary Beth.
What?
Cool,
better
but how,
watch, bro.
how did you make this happen?
So I was at the HOA meeting and they're saying if anybody wants to be elected to the board. You know, I was thinking about. This is sad. I was sitting there thinking, no, literally that day before the meeting, I was thinking, I was like, man, my mom raised me to be a leader, and here I am being a fucking clown.
Is this your first meeting?
No, I go to all the meetings.
Okay.
Oh.
That would have been better.
It's cool need to see what hooligans are in the neighborhood.
And I was like, okay, this is a chance for me to get a leadership position. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I got elected.
And so, what are the responsibilities of one who is on the HOA board?
I have to pay all the bills, like the lawn, like upkeep around the neighborhood. I have to enforce anything that's out of whack. I have to enforce that.
Bro, you know what's
Answer questions on the emails. Enforce like if somebody doesn't pay their HOA dues, I have to charge them late fees. I can
the bad
foreclose
guy.
a house if I need to.
Oh,
Can you?
Yeah,
You're on the board.
it's 3 of us.
Okay, I was gonna ask how many people was on the board.
Yep.
How often do
Oh, so
y'all
you're the
meet?
tiebreaker.
Bro, I've been getting. They've
Yeah.
been texting me all day.
Really?
Wait,
Are they older?
How long is your tenure?
So it's a year, and you have to be reelected. There's one gentleman that's older.
I'm
and
gonna
then
move so I can vote for you.
My neighbor right here. Yeah, vote for me.
Now
My
you got a
neighbor right
probationary
here.
period.
She's a younger. She's a probably middle-aged black woman, and then there's me. So we're diverse.
I just feel like,
Covered all the bases.
yeah, I just feel like this is hilarious to me. Do y'all have a community Facebook page? where
We
y'all-
do, and I'm working on updating that.
What do you plan to do in your first 30 days?
Change.
My first action item is to get in order. I want to build a database of all the vendors and stuff we use and put it in one place. Because right now they're like, "Oh, we use him for this," and I'm like, "Why are you
Oh,
telling me
that's,
this?"
that's what Dante does.
Like a Google folder?
He creates folders.
Oh, it's funny to y'all now.
folder.
The villain. Here I am talking about how hard I worked, and this man said like a folder. Bro, he's the villain, bro.
Cool. What else are you doing?
That's my first action item. Second thing is I want to get all of our foundations repaired. So we had a big storm that hit like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And so we had to end up suing the insurance company to get a larger amount, and we ended up getting like a couple $1 million. So we all got new roofs. So now we have access funds, and they were trying to decide if we want to do our stucco repair or a foundation. And my mindset is if you get a 20-year roof and a foundation with a warranty, your house is good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could
Yeah.
sell that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let's get our foundation.
That's somebody who
repaired.
watches a lot of HGTV. The foundation.
Bro, you speaking like a board member.
He is.
I am a board member.
Cool. I love this season
But
that you're in.
I'm really just trying to infiltrate. I've been watching Sopranos, so now that I'm in a position of power, I can use my influence.
Is that why you reading 48 laws of?
Yeah, he gonna start foreclosing people's homes and buying them for cheaper.
Yeah, bro, I love that for you.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's my first update.
Okay, what was your next update?
No, it's not update. It's kind of like a quickie. Have y'all ever seen like y'all's friends in their element? Like you're like, wow,
Yeah,
this is
I
really
guess-
you.
Yeah, I guess I have.
Yeah, Dante in front of crowds. he be in his element.
That's true. That's actually true.
No,
That's
it's
not a
not.
bad thing.
It's not bad, bro. Like you're
not.
you speak
are.
life.
You know
I
what?
wasn't saying it in a bad way.
No. The next time we go somewhere and I'm just in the corner chilling, don't come up to me saying nothing. This is who I am now.
Come on, Dante.
No,
Go jig.
Wind them up.
Go
Wind
jig.
them up.
I ain't saving no more parties.
That's you in your element, though.
No, it's not. That's not who I want to be anymore.
So the other day, I went and hung out with a friend. I'll keep his name off. He listens. Shout out to him. You know who you are. We go to the cigar lounge, just chilling. We go shoot some pool. There's a bar, but we can't find. We're going to go shoot some pool, right? So we walk into the other room. We can't find the cue or whatever it's called. What's it called? The little triangle thing. The rack.
The rack. Yeah.
So he asked the bartender. She's a cute girl. He's like, "Hey, where's the rack?" And she just rolls her eyes and she walks over there and gets it and hands it to him. Oh no, she acted like she was gonna hand it to him, and then she handed it to me.
Oh,
Then she said, "See, like your mama said, if it was some candy, you would have found it." She told him that, right?
Oh, okay.
This man said, "It's not candy I'm looking for tonight." But I'm trying to see if it's sweet or not.
Oh my God, curve. What?
And she said, "Oh, it's definitely sweet, but I got a smart mouth. I'll laugh you right up your drawers," or something like that. And
this is real life.
This is real life. I'm just sitting there as a married man, a man of God. And he said, "Lucky for you, you ain't gotta be too funny because I ain't wearing no drawers."
This is a real cover, Smack Daddy.
And then she gonna say, "Great, easy access." And at that point, I left.
Are we not playing pool anymore?
I left.
Why can't I just picture Coop head just going from her to him, from her to him, from her to him, from her to him?
And I said, "Oh, he's the man."
What face did you make when he said,
I ain't wearing no
when he said,
drawers.
I ain't wearing no drawers?
That's when I left, dog. I started walking out. She said, "Easy access." I was out the door.
I would have been like, you ain't got no drawers on.
We rode in the same Uber.
You free balling with me? Put your balls up,
What time of night you think this is?
I said, "Oh, he is the man." I said, "Okay, this is his element. He's really in his
vibe.
bag." Yeah, bro. That, and then the other day I went to a so I ain't got no job.
No, Coop. You are between opportunities.
No, I ain't got no job. I ain't got no job. I ain't got a job.
You're retired.
So I went to that. Have y'all seen the Cloud Mixer events?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
tech
Oh, yeah.
meetups?
You said you were going.
I saw
Yeah.
the recap. You went to it?
I went there, right, and then I met up with my boy Taiwan. Don't mind saying his name. So I went with Ty. So I'm a little late, but he's already there. He in there networking, talking business,
Fake
talking
laugh.
business. No, I don't, bro. But people are just attracted to him for some reason, drawn to him, right? And I'm just watching. I'm like, dang, like this is him in his element.
He's in his element.
Like he's really good at networking. I'm just in there like, hi. I'm like, dang, he is really good at networking,
So,
bro.
Coop, what do you believe is your element?
I don't know yet.
I was like, Coop wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, and I asked because okay, maybe we can.
What do you believe is Coop's element?
I think Coop's element is like kickbacks.
Yeah, but how's that help me?
No, not specifically like kickbacks. I would say, Coop, you are really good at working a room. Like in a social setting, Coop gonna be laughing, he gonna be joking. He normally on the ox, so he gonna be playing the songs that get the people going.
I can tell you what your element is.
Okay, so
I feel like
I was wrong.
No.
You just totally just. Oh, okay, but I'm the bully.
You trying to bully the bully?
No, it's what you're saying. I was
Okay.
just gonna give you another word for it.
Okay, what is it?
Relator.
Yes.
But it doesn't work in business networking.
I think it
It
does.
does,
You
bro.
just need to see it in that environment.
Bro, you've gone to many events, or you've shared even that you've gone to many events. I've seen you in different elements, bro. You could be at a bar. You could be in different environments. You will connect with people.
Yeah,
You
you're-
met a whole
you're-
podcaster.
You're a connector.
Yeah, I'm saying, and you're personable. I don't know at that networking event if he was really like, all right, I'm really about to like build these people.
I have to go in
Coop,
there.
you meet somebody like
You-
we good.
They
You
re-
like type of-
they
yeah.
remember you.
You
Yeah.
stick with them.
Okay.
You're a relator. You're a connector.
I'm gonna go again next month. I'm gonna do better.
But also, I think it depends on like what you're trying to get out of it. Like there are going to be some rooms you like, do I really want to work this room? Because I'm like, it's just a whole bunch of people talking about like this is just where I work.
I just wanted to go to one. I'd never been to a networking event,
I don't
and
think I've never
then
been to one either.
two, I just wanted to go to see, like, to learn what's happening, what's going on. Like that's how you learn new stuff, just talking to random people, right? I think I have trouble when it's so pointed. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say I can see you going to a tech networking event
Yeah.
and then meeting another father and being like,
Yeah.
we just cool. We find somebody who likes the music with you.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what did you learn, Coop?
Like
Yeah.
this,
Like, we cool. We besties now.
Were people talking about tech stuff, or were they just talking like?
I didn't talk to them. I was on Ty's co-talk. But no, people were drawn to him. I think with him in that situation, he's so valuable because he's so high up
Right.
in the career field.
Right.
So he has a lot of information. Like, so people are asking him if like so
because they're trying to get to where he is.
Yes. So at the event, you get a tag, right? A name tag, and based off the color is what you are doing. So it's like looking for a job. I'm hiring. I'm just here to network.
Was he hiring?
He was just here to network.
Okay.
But a lot of people that I don't know what it was. Like I got there late, so I don't know how he started the conversation, like how it started. But people are coming up to him. He was telling them what he does, and then they're asking him advice. He was giving them advice on how to get into the career field, stuff like that.
And some people just are really good at like starting random conversations.
Yeah.
As personable as I am, I don't do well with starting random conversations. Like I'm not gonna just walk up to a group of people and just like start a conversation.
I can, but maybe it's because in that environment I don't necessarily know my value to them.
And that could be it too. Like when your confidence is high about something, you walk in the room with a different level of confidence.
Right.
For you, we know that you're getting into the tech field.
Yeah.
Like so, it could be that you kind of walked in and you're like, I don't really know my place here.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the capital in quotes to add value in that perspective because I'm still trying to figure out where I fit into.
And his demeanor could have been very different. Like he could have walked. They probably drawn to him.
Yeah.
And slight imposter syndrome type thing. Like we all kind of go through it type thing. You're there, so like you're already approved type thing. Doesn't matter. You're there to network. Like there's gonna be people above you, people below you type thing. But if you fight imposter syndrome with a level of confidence, you don't even know necessarily what he was talking about. He could have been talking about whatever. He could have been completely wrong.
Yeah.
But he had the
That is very
confidence
true.
that he's just like, hey,
That's
y'all
very
listen
true.
to me. I got an audience.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm gonna do better next month. I'm gonna come back with a better report.
You know, and we may go with you. They say you should go to networking events.
Boy volunteering the pod.
Should I go with some? Should I go with people or should I go by myself? So I'm forced to talk to people.
I think when you go with people, you're naturally just going to sit. Like if we went, we naturally just gonna be talking to each
I was
other.
about to set you up for failure.
Yeah.
You don't need to go with
Do
him.
not go, y'all.
Actually, no. You know what? Or on the other hand, sometimes when you
I
have
think
like
it
a
could help.
wing person, it could help because y'all are both. You feel like, oh, my friend's here, so we can go have conversations with people.
Yeah.
And it's not as awkward.
Y'all would have to be equally yoked.
Maybe I'll
if not, somebody's going to lead and the other person's going to follow.
I don't know. Not necessarily. Y'all just play off each other's personalities.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think next time, maybe if T will go with me again, please. Maybe I should ask him if I can engage the conversations, and then he can back me up with the information since he has the knowledge.
Maybe. I could even see you and Dante going to an event and y'all thriving. Because I could just see people being they may naturally draw to Dante, and then this sounds bad, but as a byproduct, they see that you're in that conversation, and then they're drawn to
Why are they
you.
drawn to him?
Because Dante has an appeal and a way to work a room. Like when he steps in a room, like his presence is felt. So I think people are naturally drawn there. I think your presence. No. I think your presence is on a one-on-one basis.
Yes.
But Dante can draw a crowd.
I don't think so. You know what? And the crazy thing is, I feel like I used to be like that. I feel like now I'm kind of like
it's still the same.
I'm fade to the background, bro.
You can want
That's
to
by
fade to the
choice.
background, but you still draw the attention.
Yeah, bro. That's why I said that's your element. Like you draw a crowd. However you choose to use that is maybe one thing that you have to come to terms with. But like you draw a crowd.
Yeah, anywhere we go, somebody knows the legend of Dante.
But that's just because not the legend, not Zorro. But that's just because I know people. I'm saying I even feel like I would struggle to walk in a room with a group of random people and start conversation. Like that would be difficult for me.
But you still do it.
I can't remember the last time I did it.
But you
not a group of. I don't even think I've necessarily had to walk into a networking event and it's a whole bunch of people I don't know and I've started to work the room.
But you could do it. You haven't done it, but you could do it.
Yeah.
I would like to see.
I feel like
he trying to challenge me so I can go to the networking event with him.
Hey, I know we're having a great conversation, but who did you notice first?
Was it me or was it my friend?
Was it his presence or my presence that you felt?
Because I want to know my present list. Well, my schedule just opened up, so I may be able to make it. No, but that's. I think that there are. It's always dope to see people just kind of operating in their thing, right? Because then you just see them, and it's like it's almost like a little aura around. It. It's
Yeah,
damn, bro,
like-
I see you in your thing, or even if
Bruce
you see people-
Leroy.
if you see if you see people doing like their thing, it's just like they operate. They just
Yeah,
kinda
I feel like I
operate.
know all of y'all in y'all's element.
Okay, what's KJB's?
Justin is like producing, bro. Like
I was just gonna say that.
I seen him at church, bro. He in his element where he is like producing the whole show, the whole church show,
Hit those lights. Hit those
church show, but the whole
music.
like,
Mic
production,
one.
the production of the
Mic
church.
2, camera 1, camera 2.
Even when he like one time, I think it might have been like a year or two ago, maybe for the first time, I had to get behind the camera with Justin, like on the other side of the camera. And he was like in his element, like, bro, stand here, do this. And it was like everything came so natural, but the way he can adjust to like whatever is the case, the
I
scenario
haven't had
is.
the chance of seeing that.
Yeah, he's in his bag. Like that's him in his element. But then again, that goes to what he said. He's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He's like making sure everything else looks good and presents well.
So
He
your
has a-
element should be an area that you're comfortable in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not
I mean, I feel like
necessarily.
I feel like
Not
you're-
like comfortable as
well, I
in,
feel like you're
Like,
na-
naturally
as a
excel.
default, you're comfortable
you're
in your
naturally
element.
comfortable
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Coop don't think twice about when he's having a conversation with somebody that he just met and he's building this relationship. Like, oh, it's just natural. It's just his element. He's comfortable.
Like y'all really be talking to random people?
I do that. I prefer that.
I don't talk to random people.
I think that's where you get the best information. 'Cause-
I talk to like if I don't like y'all will be sitting places like Cooper literally has told us stories where he'll just like be out somewhere by himself and then he'll just spark a conversation.
Yep.
It did. The guy turns out to be a millionaire or something. I would be sitting there by myself,
But you've seen it.
not even doing it.
I don't know. Maybe because I've been out with Coop so many times. I just see it.
I've never been. You know what? We've never necessarily been out. I've never just been out with Coop and seen him in that element.
Yeah, I see it all the
my
time.
element. For sure.
Yeah, I don't know about like random, but I see the byproducts of it. I know because Coop has used that muscle so many times. That's how whenever we are out and Coop knows somebody there, it's because he's already
That's
at
true.
one point they were a stranger.
Yeah.
And Coop didn't hesitate.
Oh yeah, that's so and so.
Yeah.
He do be doing that. Oh yeah, that's so
Last time somebody pulled up on Coop.
After we went out to eat
Yes.
in the
Remember
parking
in the
lot.
parking lot.
Drive by.
I was like, she was just yelling.
Yes.
She said, "Hey,
Not a, it was to somebody.
yeah, somebody."
Let's start the pod.
I don't know. I just think that's interesting, bro. It's crazy how we just have these different dynamics, and it's always good to be able to come in and just talk these things out amongst each other. I was telling y'all, somebody said, a listener of the show, shout out to my boy Byrne. He said it's dope that we have each other, that we can come in and chop it up and navigate these lives, and hopefully you guys feel like you have us. Because we know we also have y'all. So if there are things that you want us to talk about, topics that you want our opinion on, please feel free to hit us. You can hit us in our DMs at The Soundboard Podcast. Also, if you haven't, please go follow us on that. Secondly, we kind of mixed things up on this last time because we wanted to drive y'all to our YouTube page because we wanted you guys to see the visual. Like, it's something about hearing us, it's great, but seeing us in the moment where we laugh and we joking, I think it's an amazing experience. So
And they saw us,
they did.
but they did not subscribe.
I ain't gonna lie, them subscribers is still low, but I seen y'all watch that video. So if y'all could, please go and comment, like, and subscribe.
Press
at
the button.
The Soundboard
Yeah.
Podcast. Y'all ain't losing no money.
Facts.
We ain't taking nothing from y'all. So please go and do that. If you want to keep up with me, man, you can follow me at Dante Speaks Life. That's DONTAE Speaks Life.
If you want to follow me, you can find me at thisiscoop_.
Well, if you want to follow me up to a certain point, you can follow me at _ Jeremy J.
All things Big Kid JB at Just a Fiasco.
We out.
Peace.